Hello again and welcome back to the channel. This is Michael from TOEFLresources.com, and the new version of the TOEFL has been offered for 1 month now, so it's time for an update on the new TOEFL speaking section. Yes, there are some things we've observed that weren't in the first few videos I made. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a broad overview of all 4 question types. I'm going to give you a few basic strategies that you can use to answer them. I'm going to give you the results of a survey of 300 students who took the test in August. I'm going to talk about some changes to the score reports, and these changes are really bad. I absolutely hate them. And at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about some controversial changes to the way the TOEFL speaking section is scored. Now, I don't know yet how I feel about these changes, but if you watch to the end, you might get a general view of what I think about them. All right, this is going to be a long and detailed video, so let's get started right away. First up, the first question in the new speaking section of the test is the personal choice question. Now, I do have some very interesting information from that survey I did. It turns out that 55% of the students I surveyed got an agree-disagree style question here. And it goes a little bit like this. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Parents can learn a lot from their children. Now, this is a question style we've known about, nothing new. The other 45% of the students got something that we've always called the paired choice question, which is where you have to pick from like 2 opposing or contrasting choices. It goes something like this. Some people like to shop at stores that sell many kinds of products. Others like to go to stores that specialize in one type of product. Which do you prefer? Now, the interesting thing, which you've probably noticed, is that nobody seems to have gotten the multiple choice style question, where you have to pick from 3 or 4 choices. And nobody seems to have gotten the agree-disagree style question. That's interesting. Now, I'm not promising that these styles are gone forever. They might come back here in September. They might come back next year. However, in August, they didn't appear on the test, it seems to me. This means that as you study all the possible question styles, but focus mostly on agree, disagree, and paired choice. That's probably the most efficient use of your time. But don't ignore the other styles. Don't be surprised if you get one of them. ETS is tricky. Now, a few strategies for solving this question. Now, of course, if you want more detailed strategies, I'll put a link down below to my master guide for question 1. But just briefly, when you're answering this question, start by stating your opinion. Try something like, I agree with the idea that, or personally, I prefer. Next, continue with a transition like, I feel strongly about this. After that, state 2 reasons in support of your opinion. Try to include a very short personal example within one of those opinions, or one of those reasons. Don't worry too much about a conclusion in this question. You probably don't have time for it. All right, moving along to question 2, the campus situation. This is just what we've talked about in all the other videos, but in a moment I'm going to tell you about one tricky thing that you should keep in mind. But first of all, you get a reading passage that describes a change or a proposed change related to a campus policy or facility. You have 45 or 50 seconds to read it. Next, a listening passage is played. This is a conversation between 2 students, and one of them expresses an opinion about what was in the reading. The student agrees with the change, disagrees with the change, or has a mixed opinion about the change. Your job is to state what this change is and the speaker's opinion. You have 30 seconds to prepare, 60 seconds to speak. Now, it seems to me that the mixed opinion prompt appeared about 15% of the time in August. This is more frequent than in the past when it popped up like once every couple months. So be prepared for this mixed opinion style question. It's not in most of the big TOEFL books, and it's not in most of the big TOEFL websites. You're hearing about it here because I love you and I care about you and I want you to pass the test. What are the strategies for this? Well, start by stating the change very briefly. Continue by stating the 2 reasons for the change, which are given in the reading, in a single sentence. Next, state the speaker's opinion about that change, whether he supports it, opposes it, or has a mixed opinion. Now, this is the part of your answer which is mostly affected by that mixed opinion. So the line should be, the man supports this change, the man opposes this change, or the man has a mixed opinion about this change. Don't be confused here. Finally, one at a time, state how the speaker feels about each of the 2 reasons for the change. Include as many details as possible. This should make up about 40 seconds of your answer. Moving along to question 3, which we like to call the general to specific question. Here, you get a reading passage that describes a term, a process, or an idea from some academic subject. You have 45 or 50 seconds to read it. After that, a lecture is played. This lecture gives an example, or maybe 2 examples, that illustrates the term, process, or idea. Your job in your answer is to define that term and how the example illustrates it. You have 30 seconds to prepare, a minute to speak. Now, according to the survey I did, 58% of the students got a topic related to like biology or animals. 20% got something related to psychology or learning. And 16% got something related to business or marketing. So as you're studying, maybe focus a little bit more on biology and animals. Maybe read a National Geographic magazine or something. Now, of course, this doesn't add up to 100, so be prepared for something surprising. Maybe something related to literature. That could come up too. It's happened in the past. All right, a few general strategies for answering this question. Start by stating the term and what it is. Say something like, the reading is about whatever, which is defined as so-and-so. The title of the article can be very helpful for filling in the first blank. Continue by stating what you think is the most important detail from the reading in a single sentence. And then, one at a time, describe the examples from the lecture, providing some linking details from the reading if possible. This should make up about 40 or 45 seconds in your answer. Most of your score is coming from the lecture summary, so really focus on that. All right, question 4 is what we call the academic lecture question. In this one, you listen to a passage that explains a term or concept and gives an example or 2 examples to illustrate it. Once again, your job is to define the term or concept and talk about how the examples from the lecture illustrate it. You got 20 seconds to prepare, a minute to speak. In this one, according to the survey I did, 51% of students got something related again to biology and animals. 22% got psychology and learning, 16% got business and marketing, and then 12% got what I like to lump together as history, literature, and art. Be prepared for one of these subjects. Be prepared also for surprises, don't panic, but these are the ones you're most likely going to get. A few general strategies for answering this question. And once again, I want to mention, if you want detailed strategies and specific templates and a lot more information, check out my master guides for each of the questions. I'm going to put links down below in the video description. Anyways, as you're answering this one, here you really need to pay attention to the question prompt itself. The question prompt is a bit more important in this question style than in the other questions. That's because the question prompt is going to give you more specific instructions than simply repeating what you read and what you heard. As you start your answer, begin by very quickly describing the term or idea. Use 1 or 2 sentences for this. For the rest of your answer, focus on the examples from the lecture. You're going to want to repeat those examples, and at the end of each example, you're going to connect them to what the prompt has specifically asked you to discuss. If that sounds confusing to you, just check out my video for question 4. It'll make it a bit more clear. All right, that is my rundown on the 4 question styles in the speaking section of the test. Let's talk about the new score report. And as you can see on the screen, it's terrible. It really is. Let's get into it. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see a sample score report. Now, technically, yes, this is the institutional score report that the university gets, but you're going to get one that looks just like this. It's got your picture, it's got your name. Down here, it's got the scores that you earned on that sitting of the test. Over here, it's got your My Best scores, which combines all of your previous results into one super score. Now, the My Best scores thing is great. I love it. I mean, not very many universities are accepting it, and none of the pharmacy or dental organizations are accepting it. So it's kind of useless now, but it is pretty cool. In the future, it'll probably be accepted, maybe. I hope. So what's the terrible part? Well, the terrible part is that this is pretty much the entire score report. So check it out. You got a speaking score and you got a writing score. That's it. Now, those of you who took the test in the past, you know what the problem is. Those of you who are taking the test for the first time, you don't know what the problem is, and I'm going to tell you. In the past, for the writing section, you would get the overall score, and then on the next page, you would get a level for your independent essay, and then you would get a level for your integrated essay. So, for example, it would say, my independent essay is good, and then my integrated essay is weak. And then I would know, as I study for my next attempt, that I should focus on the integrated essay. Likewise, it would break the speaking scores into like 3 different groups. So first of all, it would say that my independent speaking was good. And then it would say that my campus situation speaking was fair. And then it would say that my academic lecture speaking was good. And then I would know, I should focus on the campus situation speaking as I study for my next attempt. That was really useful information, and it is now removed from the score report. Why have they done this? I have no idea. If you don't like it, send an email to ETS and tell them that you don't like it. It's not too late. Maybe we can get that back. Maybe. Probably not. But maybe. Moving along. The last change I want to mention. The speaking section is now scored in a completely different way. In the past, the speaking section was scored by 2 humans. 2 humans would assess each of your answers. They would each give you a score, and those scores were averaged together to produce a final score. Now, there's 1 human rater and the SpeechRater artificial intelligence software. How does this work? Well, first of all, the human rater will give you a score for your language use, which is like your grammar and your vocabulary. And he will also give you a score for your topic development, which is the actual content of your answer, and whether or not your details are accurate when you're summarizing the readings and the lectures. So that's the same as before. And then the SpeechRater software will give you a score for your delivery, which is how you speak. Now, this is a very advanced software, and it has a lot of variables it's checking, but broadly speaking, It's going to be checking your speaking rate, which is just your words per minute. If you're speaking fast, you're probably going to get a higher score. It's also going to check your sustained speech, which is the number of pauses you have. But it's also going to check the pause frequency. So it's not just like the amount of pauses, but like how frequent they are, right? So what I guess this means is that 5 short pauses are worse than 1 long pause of equal length. That's what I think. Next up, it's going to check your repetitions. So if you say something like, I want to go to school, you're going to get punished for that double I want to. Keep that in mind. Next up, it does check your response length, which is just the total number of words in your answer. I guess that's connected to words per minute, but it's checking you in both areas. Also, it checks your rhythm, which is how you're stressing words and syllables and whether or not you're doing that in a natural way. And finally, it checks how you pronounce vowels. I guess vowels are more important than consonants. So if you got some time, practice saying those vowels in a nice natural way. And I guess too, make sure you're pronouncing them for the right amount of time. Don't stretch them out and don't make them really short. You want to have natural vowel pronunciation. Now, if you've used the SpeechRater in any other contexts like the TPOs, it checked you for vocabulary, discourse, and grammar. I think on the TOEFL, it will not be checking these aspects. I'll let you know if I get any updates. Now, since I announced this a couple days ago, students have asked me again and again, is this a good thing? And I am hesitant to answer that, but here's what I think. I think the SpeechRater is totally fine. Like, they've been working on this for 10 years, and they've published all these academic articles about it, and I've read most of them, and it seems like they've got the technology. I mean, they're not lying, right? They've proven that the SpeechRater is just as good as a human for checking this kind of stuff. And apparently for checking delivery, like in an overall sense. So I'm fine with that for now. But there's only one human rater checking your content, checking your language use, checking your topic development. 1. That's a problem. In the past, there were 2 checking that stuff. Now there is 1. 1 is not better than 2. There's nothing that ETS can say that will convince me that 1 human rater is better than 2. So, this is a step in the wrong direction. I'm not going to say why I think they've done this, but those of you who understand how the world works will probably figure it out. Okay? So, I don't like that. I guess I'm going to leave it at that. Now, I'll make another video that goes into all the nerd stuff about how the SpeechRater works and about all the technology and what percentage each of these has when it comes to your final score. I made one of those about the E-Rater that checks your essays. Nobody watched it, but I liked making it. So I'll make one about the SpeechRater, and you don't need to watch it, but it'll be fun. I think I'm going to leave it at that. That seems to be everything we know about the speaking section of the TOEFL that's come up in August. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to make similar videos about the listening and reading sections. And if I get really excited, I might make one about the writing section. Nothing has changed, but I probably have a few new insights since I made my last video. All right, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you want to kind of get me to personally help you with the test, you can find all my details on TOEFLresources.com. All right, take it easy until next time, guys, and I'll see you then.